Hi everyone, Holly here is our Tozai expert and merchant back here in Elmsford in headquarters, and we are really excited to bring you a multifaceted, historically reminiscent, great selling Tozai home product for the rest of this year. And you know, Tozai, I think we really enjoy having the variety of divisions because it really creates a very well-rounded company and opportunity for our customers and for you in terms of how you develop the business. We look at Tozai Home as our haute couture, as our higher end, as our more sophisticated and more everyday product line. This is a product line that every day has no seasonality to it, and it allows you to kind of have a core grouping with your accounts. There are certain accounts that do great. Of course, the decorative accessory stores that carry everything from furniture to wall art, and then they get into decorative accessories, and we want to be what's sitting on the tables and on the sofas and on the walls in those stores. That is really our center point. I think that one of the things we've done is sprinkled in over time easier items that are smaller and less committing. You know, we find that the types of decorative accessories and things that we are working on, that we sell, require one decision maker. In other words, it's not going to the decorator, to the husband, to the wife, and to the whole family about what it's going to look like. That's what a sofa is, and that's what a cocktail table is all about, or that's what wall art is. And so our level or our segment of the market really is somewhat impulse, or it could be planned out, and it's something that anyone can come in, and even a decorator on behalf of their client. And we experienced this when we had the Two's Company concept store. A decorator would come in and they'd order a variety of things, and they would return a few things, but most of the things would stick. So we're really excited to bring you this collection, and here's Bobby, who's joining us now as our not special guest, but it's great to have you on board, and chime in anytime you want. So I was just giving them a brief overview about the trip we're going to take during this video.
Okay, you know, I'm so excited because Tozai seems to really be coming into its own.
Yep, we've had a really good year last year, and continued good growth and success.
We're selling more accounts, we're getting more reorders. We really feel that we're much more on target, and I'm sure this collection is...
Well, one of the things that we've been working on is bringing collections by a subject, whether it's mid-century or classic or contemporary, and focusing in on some of the trends that, or markets that we feel there are opportunities. And
but
so
also, you know, home is becoming much more important these days. That's what all the reports are. And people are using more significant accessories in their home. Fewer, but more expensive and more important ones.
And so that really turns into some of the first things that I wanted to just share with and talk with everyone about, and that's our champagne collection. So we're going to go right into the product, and I'll hold it on, and Holly will, and Bobby, and everyone just chime in when it's good. Good. Okay, so this is our champagne chevron. Okay, first of all, the chevron pattern you've seen for about 2 or 3 years. It's been very hot and has gone down to every level, and we use it in the packaging, and I think in Two's Company and Halloween and other things. But this is a classic, and I just want you, first of all, to see, you know, we finish all of our frames. This is actually a back, and this is a shisham wood. And we're doing this in Two's as well, and we spend more money to do this, but this is an MDF material, and this isn't actually shisham wood. And so we create the MDF material to have a wood, more of a wood look to it, so that it feels better on the product. You know,
Not only it feels better, but when you have a frame on a table, you're not always looking directly at the front.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such an insult, really, when you turn it around and you have a cardboard back, when you spent a lot of money for a frame.
So the reason we have the back out of MDF is to keep it from warping and straight and just the whole mechanics of it. But it does look great. But we try to use, all in Tozai, we're always trying to use as much shishim wood as possible.
And do every side, the
MDF
sides, the back.
Stands for, once again?
Multi-density board, okay, fiber board.
And a more expensive frame.
Okay, and so, but what I was talking about on the chevron was that this is made with a combination of shell. Okay, this is a black lip, which is a more expensive shell. If you go on the internet and look up black lip or just buy anything, it's always going to be expensive. This is natural mother of pearl, and then this is a dyed or dyed mother of pearl. So we created a 3 colorings that are very neutral and look great. And so we're doing the sets of 3 frames that do so well. And
4x6.
Right here we have a 3x3, 4x6, and 5x7.
3x3, 3x4, and 4x6.
Okay,
You
so
know
this
what
is
I like
actually a
these?
5x7.
I mean, you could give these to anyone. You know, when you give someone, sometimes you worry about what their home looks like. This would go in any home, mid-century, traditional home, contemporary home, no matter what the colors. This is a sensational
It's a special gift.
So then we have our boxes. So we picked up on things, you know, that we've done well before. We used to have a few more items, and we said, all right, the best 2 items are the boxes and the frames. So we just did the boxes and the frames, and inside we painted it white. This is actually just an MDF material, and that keeps the box straight from warping. We have had some issues on that, and we've been working very hard to dry the wood and use the right materials that avoid the warping. Okay, and all the boxes have this sponge bottom that just helps them raise them off and from scratching any surfaces. And so this is a set of 2, and you get a feeling about the size. They look stunning when they're out on a cocktail table, and they have a great shimmer to them and look. And this is a very neutral color palette. This goes along with the whole naturals look, but also has a metallic feeling to it, which I like very much. I'm going to talk next about the items. I just go in the front here. These are actually lotus flowers that we had created, okay? And you can see they're like the pods, and this is great with flowers. And so this is created actually to hold, to create flower arrangements. And we just love this as an elegant flower. It's very popular in Asia, you know, known as more of an Asian flower. And we think just the florist and at home you can do great things with it. But this just looks very interesting empty.
Yeah.
It really creates a lot of curiosity. And so we have these 3. And this one will be leaning? Is the 3rd
Yes.
one? Okay, so you'll notice that this one is not one like that, but it's actually leaning. And what a great, I could just see this in a bathroom next to a sink or on a counter with 1 or 2 flowers in it. So there's lots of great things you can do. And these are all made in ceramic or porcelain?
It's porcelain.
That's porcelain. Okay, so porcelain is a higher fired, more expensive ceramic material. Okay, so that's our lotus flower. We have back here some new frames, and these frames are actually also screened. You know, we have the technology right now where we're screening on the frames, you know, a printed design. And what's so special about these is this is metallic. Can you get this? This is a special material and ink that we've successfully transferred to the bone. So this is all hand-cut bone, okay, and you can hopefully see the little pieces. And so there's a special place in India where they work with the bone. Okay, so all of the bone that's collected is sent there, and they work with the bone and they cut it, and there's a lot of handwork to do this. We've covered the edges also with the bone, the edges on the frames here, and we did 3 different colorings. We did the gold, the silver, and then we did the copper. And
Or pink gold.
or
Rose gold.
Rose gold. It actually looks a little more rose gold than copper. But both are in a similar family, and it really has a very elegant
And these are
look.
universal. This could go in any, you know, any kind of home, any coloring. in a period home.
And so we're selling these as a set of 2, so you get both the 5x7 size and the 4x6. Again, it has the strié on the back, the back of the frames. And again, they stand horizontally or vertically, so they really have a lot.
I love the way the metallic finish really reflects the light from from every different angle. It looks different.
Yes, so we're pleased with that as well. Let me tell you next about a finish here, okay? And this is a really special look, and anybody that has an antique store or that appreciates French pottery, they'll know the name of Aptware, APT, or Terre Mêlée. And this is all from an art from the 18th century France. Okay, and this is a special clay combination that was done to create this different coloring that you can see. It's all done, traditionally it's done as a monotone. It was done in blues, it was done in emeralds, it's been done in yellow, and we've done it in a very neutral color. We felt that the beige, which everybody's talked about as something that's easy to match anyone's home, we did it in a beige color palette. So we picked some great items into. This is the larger of the 2 planters. So we have a planter in that material. This is the larger. Is this the largest?
That's the largest.
Largest in the set of 3 vases. Look inside. There's just a minimal work, of the texture. Now, inside, so they're relatively plain inside, but the whole thing is about the finish. Now, this is not made with the same clay as was done in Provence, but it's the look. No, this will be watertight. I'm sorry. Then we have a bowl here.
Will or will not?
It will not.
Okay. It will not have a hole. It will be a vase. Okay. Then we have a bowl here. It was a great decorative piece. And then we also have this is the wrong color. This is actually a color that you're getting insight into October that we'll be introducing then. But we started off with the beige and a very neutral palette. So we have 4 SKUs in this collection. And this is really something very historical. And we will give you a full story card on it so that you'll have that to work with already. We also have we've done very well with the gray tone frames that you guys had. So we did some additional items in that. We did a tray, which is just a great bar tray, a great table tray. Desk tray. The back all has felt on it so that it sits very nicely on a table without scratching and really feels great. And you'll notice that all the sides, inside and outside, all have the bone. Now the bone here is all dyed. Okay, it comes in a natural color, of course, but in order to make this more attractive, and we're doing bone in a lot of different colors, and you've experienced that over time. Okay, and these are all inlaid, and you'll notice that each piece also varies. So when we dye the bone, the density of the bone, when you're with a certain age sometimes, or you have a bone density issue, well, in this world, when we dye it and there's a bone density challenge, it will vary of how absorbent the bone is to take the dye.
I think that's what makes it really interesting, though.
It does. It makes it gives it much more integrity, which I love about it. And we also did, and Holly's holding a wall mirror, okay, and it has a 2.5-inch border on it. You can see that from the side, we also covered it with the bone, and then on the back, it's very simple and plain. You just hang it up. So we do great with wall mirrors, and that's why we're bringing that to you. The next item I want to talk about, here, are some paperweights. We have been a fan of glass for decades, and the artisans in China have done such a fantastic job at learning the art from glassmakers all over the world, and they've really come into their own, just like Chinese art has, in creating lots of different things in colors and shapes and abilities. And so these are, glass paperweights, and we just fell in love with their ability to do color. So again, we took that neutral color palette, the beige and the brown, and we created something that really would be or could be for everyone. And so, so here we have some glass paperweights, and they're, they make them and they hold them right here. This is how they work with them with the pole when they're working with the glass, and then they sand it off. So they sanded this off. But you can almost see here that little round circle was actually the rod that held this paperweight up during the creation and the blowing process. We're going to take a break and go to the next video.